Now, the third generation of Samsung's ultra premium flagship folding screen device has finally been announced. But comparing it to the second generation, which is the Z Fold 2, is there enough difference this time around between the Z Fold 3 and the Z Fold 2 to really see if it's even worth the upgrade like we got, if you remember, from the Fold 1? Well, in this discussion comparison, man, we're going to run through that and see if that's really the case or not. Let's go. Hi, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this and you're new to the channel, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. Now, as of this recording, the Z Fold 3 has been announced and it's on pre-order but yet to be released to the public for proper hands-on. And the Z Fold 2, I've been using it for a year now and I've done many videos on it on the channel, so links in the description below. So I've got a decent idea of how it works when it comes to using it day to day. But definitely, man, stick around because I still want to give my thoughts and my initial impressions from the outside looking in on both these devices. Let's start with the build and the design. Both the Fold 3 and the Fold 2 look very similar in terms of the design and the build, but there are changes that have been made to the Fold 3 that really bring it home. Firstly, there are new colors: Phantom Black, Phantom Green, and Phantom Silver. And what's great that all of them have that matte frosted finish, which when you look at the Fold 2, was only the Mystic Bronze that I'm using here that had a matte finish, while the black one was glossy. So this is good to see. The overall weight has come down to 271 grams versus 282 on the Fold 2. So this should make it a bit more manageable, and it's all down to the fact that Samsung are using what they're calling their armored aluminium, which is meant to be lighter, more durable, alongside Gorilla Glass Victus. How noticeable this is going to be is yet to be seen, but you know what, once we hold it both in hands and test it, it's going to be easier to tell whether that's the case or not. But the major addition to the Fold 3 has got to be finally the addition of an official water resistance with a rating of IPX8, which means 1.58 meters of fresh water up to 30 minutes. Now, there is no rating against dust, so just be warned when it comes to that. But this does bring more confidence and durability improvements versus what we had before, and this is a massive step in the right direction. So well done with this on that, Samsung. Now let's move over to the displays, and yet again, on the surface level, things are looking very similar to before, but honestly, that's just on the surface level, because I think Samsung might have just pulled out the stops here when it comes to the improvements, and to be honest, kind of might be a game changer going forward. Both the Fold 3 and the Fold 2 have the same display size for the cover display at 6.2 inches and the same size for the inner display at 7.6 inches. For the cover display though, there is a slight adjustment to the aspect ratio at 24.5 by 9 versus a slight resolution increase of 2268 by 832. But personally, I don't think you're going to notice it that much. Now, what you will notice for the cover display is the fact that finally we do get 120 Hz high refresh rate versus the 60 Hz we had before. And this is good. And it's great because now you can experience the same 120 Hz on the cover display like you had on the inner display. So thank you, Samsung, for really making this happen finally. Now, I do wish the aspect ratio was wider on the cover display, but let's test it properly again on the Fold 3 and I will give my final verdict on that. Now for the inner display on the Fold 3 and the Fold 2, it's exactly the same. Like I said before, 7.6 inches, same resolution at 2208 by 1768, and the same aspect ratio at 22.5 by 18, and the same 120 Hz high refresh rate. But the major changes come in threefold. Pun intended. Firstly, the display on the Fold 3 is meant to be 29% brighter, which is only a good thing for better visibility when you're outdoors in different situations. Second, there is a stronger protective film on the inner display, which Samsung says is meant to be up to 80% stronger than before. Now, we'll take their word for it at this moment until we actually have further usage in normal day-to-day, but this is a good move. You know what, that added strength comes in for a major reason, because number 3, it's finally, as expected, we get S Pen support for the inner display. But there is a caveat, as great as that sounds, and I am very impressed with it, but just bear in mind there is an asterisk with that. You cannot just use any old S Pen you have lying around for the display on the Z Fold 3, because it will actually prompt you and say no. Why, you say? Well, there is a new S Pen Fold edition with a pro tip made to work specifically for the Fold 3, and also an S Pen Pro, which is bigger, battery powered, and has Bluetooth for those extra functions when you're using things like Air Actions. Plus, there is nowhere to actually store the S Pen in the Fold 3 like you do with the Note series. F for respect for the Note series. Unless you actually purchase an official case for it, which I believe only carries the S Pen Fold edition and not the S Pen Pro. One more addition is, in regards to the S Pen support, I believe it only works on the inner display and not the out cover display. Now look, don't hold me to that yet fully, but I do believe that is the case. This is not to take away the great addition of the S Pen support for the Fold 3, but just on the flip side, another pun, these are definitely things to consider when wanting to use the S Pen on the Fold 3. For the specs and the performance, rightfully so, you do see an improvement with the Fold 3, which now rocks the newer Snapdragon 888 with the same 12GB of RAM, but now not just the option of 256, but you do get an option of 512GB with no micro SD card support, which just wasn't there with the Fold 2, which is using a Snapdragon 865 Plus, 12GB of RAM, and 256GB of storage. My thing that I'm happy about is Samsung. I feel like you actually listened to me and you added the support for 2 nano SIM slots and still supporting eSIM. This was one area, I kid you not, I was so annoyed with the Fold 2 and very passionately as well, if you've seen any of my previous videos. And it's good to see because it only had a nano SIM and eSIM. So thank you for fixing this, Samsung. I appreciate that. Things like the fingerprint unlock are still the same on both, based in the power button with convenient face unlock on a cover display selfie. And also, speaking of selfies, let's move over to the cameras because interesting changes there. Now, when it comes to the cameras, things are looking very similar between the two, and it looks like things are the same, but you kind of have to look at it from this way. If you look at the rear, you are actually working with triple cameras for the ultra wide, the wide, and the telephoto zoom, at times 2 still for the telephoto, and all those 3 cameras are at 12 megapixels and the front cover display is at 10 megapixels. So not much has really changed, but the difference is with the lens covering, which is using what they're calling Corning Gorilla Glass DX, which is meant to actually be clearer, allow more light, less reflections, and more scratch resistant. But the major change though is the cover display, which is actually using an under display selfie camera for the first time. Samsung actually decided to use this, which is very interesting. Why? Because it's actually disappearing and giving you a fully immersive display experience for the inner cover display. But there is a caveat to it though. Camera quality is only at 4 megapixels at f1.8 and the pixel size is quite large at 2.0 microns and the field of view is at 80 degrees. Now, more testing is needed, as I personally think, based on first impressions, this is a step in the right direction, but it's all going to be down to the image quality, how distracting it is, and how it affects pictures and videos as well. So very interesting to see how things turn out here. Software experience on both the Fold 3 and the Fold 2 feel very much at home, which is actually a good thing. Although they're both running Android 11 with One UI 3.1, what's good to see is Samsung have actually built in labs for the Fold 3. And previously you needed Good Lock to run apps in multi-window that did not support it, and also the correct aspect ratio for the cover display and the inner display as well. Now with built-in labs, you don't necessarily need to depend on Good Lock to have that experience. Look, again, how well it works, only time will tell, more testing is needed, but this is good to see that it's built in. And what Samsung are also saying is to have better app optimization out of the box with more of the popular apps as well. But you know what? It's very interesting. I'm very interested to see how it all works in the end. When it comes to the battery, the capacity has dropped. Yes, you heard right. 4,400 milliamps on the Fold 3 versus 4,500 on the Fold 2. Now, this could be down to the slimmer form factor of the Fold 3, but we'll see how that works because Samsung are saying it's better optimized, but with the brighter display and 120 Hz on the cover display and how powerful the Snapdragon 888 is, I don't know how that will translate, so more testing is needed. But just remember, the trend continues. You do not get a charger in a box, and it supports the same 25 watt fast charging, or if you can call it fast charging, 11 watt wireless charging as well as power share. So just bear that in mind, man. At this price, with the Fold 3, yeah, you're probably gonna end up having to spend more to get a charger. And let's speak about the price, man. I do like the fact that the price has dropped to £1,599 in the UK when it comes to the starting price for 256 gig, which is at least about £200 price drop. I'm glad it's going down. Would have loved to see it under 1,500, but this is a step in the right direction when it comes to that. So yeah, this is just a quick comparison discussion between the two. Let me know what you think. Do you think it's a big enough upgrade? I think it's an evolutionary bit by bit upgrade that I think it makes a lot more sense, but more testing is needed to really drive it home to see if it feels that way versus the Fold 2. Maybe it's a chance for you to pick up the Fold 2 because the prices will be dropping on it as well if they're going to be selling it. But yeah, man, that's it for me, Ben from Lover of Tech. If you enjoy videos like this, you know exactly what to do, man. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell so you're part of Team TLS, the Tech Lover Squad, so you don't miss any future videos on the channel. I hope you're all safe during this time. I will catch you in the next one. Peace.